Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. This is Peter Meyerson sitting in for the incomparable Jeffrey Davis. Incomparable because he's not capable of being reproduced. Anyway, this is we are sharing the success of entrepreneurship, and you can find us on your Android, or you can find us on a variety of devices. And if you can't find us on your devices, you can find us at www.radioentrepreneurs.com. And today, we are going to interview William Norman of Norman Associates. Hi, Bill.
How are you, Peter? Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure. It's been a while. I know you've been a prior guest in a prior life. Why don't you tell us about what you're doing now?
Well, I'm basically on my own, and I'm practicing the same practice area that I have been practicing for about 40 years. So I'm a business transaction attorney. And what that means essentially is that I represent operating businesses, businesses that do business with other businesses, whether it's service or product. And, you know, the change in the nature of businesses have been such that a lot of them are pharmaceutical, software, intangible sort of businesses, as opposed to the brick and mortar that I used to represent when I first started.
Is there any particular kind of space that you represent? You know, software versus oceanographic versus manufacturing?
Well, it's not a space defined by the nature of the industry, because I do represent a broad base of businesses in different industries. But I will say that the most of the businesses I represent fall within what's typically called middle market businesses. So they can range from 10 million up to 125 million. They're privately held, and they're also closely held. And the distinction is the closely held means that they're owned and operated by the people that started them, okay, as opposed to an aggregated business through a private equity group where the financing is backed by basically investors, and there's an operating team that could be made up of the original owners, but their portion of the business has been reduced substantially so that the private equity owners will get a good return on their investment.
Do you ever have any issues with respect to the privately held companies and the fiduciary duties of the shareholders to each other, or the fiduciary duty that you have as a lawyer to your clients?
Yeah,
I think any good stories?
Yeah, well, I've got plenty of stories. I wouldn't call them good stories. Essentially, those issues come up when you have 2, 3, 4 owners, and there's a divergence in philosophies as to how they're going to continue to run that business. So you, as the attorney, represent the company, and you're usually dealing with one or more of their key people. So you'd be dealing with the CEO or the COO or the CFO, and typically they're one of the 4 shareholders. So it seems that you create a relationship over that period of time, even though you're representing the company. Now there's a controversy between or among different shareholders, and as an attorney, you're not allowed to represent any of them. So you've got to say to them, which they don't really understand sometimes, I can't get involved in this controversy. Each of you have to go out and retain another attorney. I can only represent the company in its best interest.
How do they feel about that?
Well, again, they're a little confused because they believe, as most small business owners believe, that they are the company, and you're the one who they've been dealing with for a lot of years. So you understand the background, you know the company inside and out, and at that point in time when they need you the most, you're saying to them, I can't get involved. Ethically, I can't get involved.
If somebody wanted to get a hold of you, Bill, how would they do that?
Well, they could reach me at 781-254-4022. They could go on my website, which is normanandassociatespc.com, or they could email me at william.norman@normanassociatespc.com.